To the RepubliKen Show, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the sketch situation. Donald Trump might become innocent from the 34 felony counts. Trump also challenges Biden to a game of golf, and if Biden were to win, he would give Biden $1 million to give to whatever charity. Also, Ukrainian hospital with a bunch of children in it got bombed, and Monster has a new satanic flavor. More about this on this episode. Welcome to the Show, everybody. I'm your host, Kenneth Glenn, and today we got a lot of news for you. So, the libs are still freaking out over this Project 2025, this spooky 900-page document that says spooky, terrible things like getting rid of no-fault divorce and, arming teachers in the classroom so they can defend themselves against school shooters, and a bunch of nasty, terrible, scary things that are super scary and terrible that nobody wants. At least that's been the case for the left. Everyone's been pushing it so hard. Mark Hamill's been pushing it. A bunch of left-wing media accounts have been pushing it. Biden has gone so far as to making an entire website. He made up a website trying to make it so it's as if Trump is actually endorsing this website, even though Trump's literally denounced this whole idea of Project 2025. He has completely, entirely denounced it. And we all know Donald Trump. We all know what he's like. Okay, Donald Trump is not scared to speak his mind. Some of us would even argue that he speaks his mind a little too much. I'm not going to be one of those kind of people. But there's definitely an argument for that. But it's just gotten so bad. Even today, a congressman by the name of Hank Johnson from Georgia was literally crying about it today at a Congress hearing. This is the one that Ben Shapiro was at. We're going to play the clip for you right now.
About their reputation because they sell more products if they have a good public image. And these companies think it's bad for business to run their advertising content next to child porn or ISIS videos or hate speech or an advertisement from the Heritage Foundation about Project 2025, which is so alarming to most Americans. Americans are alarmed, and that's why their representatives are talking about Project 2025, a 900-page manifesto, which is the blueprint for the Trump administration, should he be so fortunate and we be so unfortunate that he be reelected.
Oh yeah, it'd really be a shame if Trump got elected. It'd be so unfortunate. Wah. Oh, it'd be so terrible. Alright, so I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to move on from that. That's really not important. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the sketch situation. This is some breaking news. This is some really, really important news. Okay? A Twitch streamer by the name of Sketch recently has been under hot water after being involved with an OF account. I know. It's like the craziest news on the planet. At least it is for a lot of people. For a lot of people, this is like breaking news. For me, it's just like, whatever. So here are my thoughts. I genuinely don't care. I genuinely do not give a solitary crap about this situation. So what? He had gay sex 4 years ago. Wow. Move on. Don't care. I genuinely do not care. Like, when I first heard about this, when I heard, like, Sneeko talk about this or whatever, I thought it was, like, a big deal. I thought, like, Sketch was, like, Liam Neeson from the movie Honest Thief. He was just like some mysterious bank robber that like robbed every bank in America or whatever. And it just ended up being that he had gay sex 4 years ago. It's like, who cares? Are we really going to be on this forever and talk about it forever? And then like Sketch literally made an apology video about it for some reason, which I don't know why he would even make an apology video for it. I mean, he didn't really, like, obviously he broke God's law, but that's not something that you need to publicly apologize for. I mean, it was in the past. Who cares? There's no victim here. You didn't commit a crime. And it's in the past. I don't know why he needs to apologize for doing this. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, yeah, about this whole Sketch case, this whole thing about Sketch, don't care. I genuinely don't care. Whatever, that's great. He found God. Whatever. Moving on, don't care. So, this is something I do care about, though. So, the House Judiciary, GOP, calls an appellate court to reverse the verdict in New York. So as we all know, Donald Trump has been convicted of 34 felony counts. This has been the thing that's been driving the left recently because Biden had a terrible performance of the debate. So one of the things that the left's been saying about Trump's like, oh, well, Biden's not a felon, whatever. Even Biden brought it up during the debates. It's just been the thing against Trump because it's there. It's just hanging fruit. Everyone's grabbing it. Everyone's taking a bite. And now they're working on reversing this decision. So it hasn't been reversed yet. It hasn't been flat out reversed. But it might be. It might get reversed. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and Judge Juan Merchan, worked together to develop former President Donald Trump to deprive former President Donald Trump from his constitutional and legal rights. The House Judiciary Committee said in a new staff report exclusively obtained by Fox News Digital, saying their findings should be a prompt appellate court to reverse the verdict. So, this is super neat. I haven't seen anything like this before. This is super cool. I gotta say, this whole attack on Trump's been one of the best, attacks I've ever seen on a president done. So my favorite president is Richard Nixon, as you all might know. And, I don't even think he was attacked as bad, at least before Watergate, of course. But, he was attacked before coming into presidency as well by the mainstream media, and people didn't like him or whatever. But it was not nearly this bad. This is just terrible. They literally made it so, Trump couldn't talk to the jury. He couldn't talk to witnesses or anything like that. They, shut him up in court. This is the biggest sham trial ever. And also, never mind the fact that the Constitution says you're not supposed to try presidents in court because you'll never be able to find a court that doesn't have a bias against the president. That's a real thing. But we're supposed to just ignore that because Donald Trump is orange and bad. Bad orange man. We can't have bad orange man in office. Fox News Digital exclusively obtained the interim staff report created by the House Judiciary Committee and its subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government. Oh, man. The report title, Lawfare, How the Manhattan District Attorney Office and the New York State Judge violated constitutional legal rights of President Donald J. Trump, spanning 35 pages outlining the committee's findings since it launched the probe into the matter in March of 2023. Trump was found guilty in May on all counts following a 6-week-long trial in the first of a former president of the United States. So, like I said, this is the first time it's ever happened. There's never been a president, like an ex-president, who was convicted of a crime after they've been in office. The reason why that is because you can't find, like I said, you can't find a jury that doesn't have a bias against a president. It's impossible. It's completely impossible to find a jury who would be unbiased against a U.S. president, because no matter who you are, even if you don't even live in the country, you're going to have an opinion on the president. Bragg, in April of 2023, had charged Trump with 34 counts for falsifying business records in the first degree. Trump had pleaded not guilty. Former president has vowed to appeal the verdict. The committee has said that Bragg, prosecuted of Trump, was politically motivated and opened the door for future prosecutions of former president or current candidates that would be widely perceived as politically motivated. The report revealed that Bragg's prosecution of Trump suffered from severe and legal procedural defects. The committee investigated the use of lawfare tactics, sought to expose the two-tier justice system that extends from the highest offices of the Department of Justice to the office of the politically anonymous state and its local prosecutors. So basically, the GOP is working on a case to reverse this one, because this one was very clearly not only politically motivated, but it's just the biggest sham trial that we have ever seen in America. It was just so bad. And you can read this whole article yourself. You can read the whole thing yourself if you'd like to. It's the Judiciary Committee.house.gov. It's on there. A fundamental principle of the American system of justice is that no individual is above the law. But just as important is the precept that prosecutors prosecute conduct, not individuals. Basically what that's saying here is we're not supposed to find somebody and go, I want to convict this person with a crime. So for example, if I found this guy named Bob, and I don't like Bob, my job as a prosecutor, if I'm a prosecutor, isn't to find stuff on Bob that would put him in jail. Okay, my job is to prosecute crimes that are committed, not to target an individual and try to find something on the person. That's not how the justice system works. Or at least that's how it's supposed to work. That is how it works now because of our crappy justice system, but it's not supposed to be that way. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, however, ran for office on the platform of investigating and prosecuting President Trump, bragging about his extensive experience suing President Trump. The report states, although Bragg was intentionally hesitant to bring charges once he became district attorney, he faced intense political pressure to do so, including leaked resignation letter from a special assistant district attorney, who attacked Bragg for being too timid. That same prosecutor, Mark Promer, I'm not going to say that last name. Mark, that's his name. Later authored to tell a book in which he took Bragg to task for failing to prosecute Donald Trump. Unsurprisingly, just months after Mark book premiered, and after President Trump declared his candidacy for 2024 Republican presidential nomination, Bragg succumbed to his political pressure and filed charges relying on Mark's theory of the case, according to this report. So, basically, what we've been saying is a sham trial has now come to light even more as a sham trial. It is just the cat's completely out of the bag now. There's no theory on it. The Democrats can't even refute this. This is clearly a sham trial. This was clearly politically motivated. And it's going to be great to see how this goes for him because, for the longest time, the Democrats have been, not even just the Democrats, but the Republicans too, have been kind of against Trump. They've been they haven't really been the biggest fan of Trump, and they've been trying to censor him and get him out of office and things like that. And you even saw that with Trump's last presidencies. A lot of Republicans just didn't really like him. A lot of people turned their back on Trump after January 6th and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see that it's like the ball's back in Trump's court. That's just nice to see. All right, moving on. So President Trump actually challenges Biden to a golf match. This is super funny. So we're going to play that clip for you right now.
I'm also officially challenging Cricket Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here. On Doral Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world, one of the great courses of the world. It will be among the most watched sporting events in history, maybe bigger than the Ryder Cup or even the Masters. And I will even give Joe Biden 10 strokes aside. 10 strokes, that's a lot. That means 20 strokes in case you don't play golf. I will give him 10 strokes aside, and if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice, any charity that he wants, $1 million.
Don't you love Donald Trump? I think Donald Trump is awesome. I love how he talks and how funny he is, how relatable he is. Really, he's just like a pretty stand-up guy. Honestly, it's just kind of cool that he was the president for a while. I just find that super neat because we don't really get that much. We don't really get that very often from presidents. Presidents are usually just like super formal. They didn't really step out of line that much. Trump's just kind of like, he's like a normal person, which is kind of cool. So now, moving on. So this is some sad news. So Ukraine, there's a bombing of a hospital. So this is from The Guardian. No words for this. Horror over Russian bombing of Kiev Children's Hospital. And this is there's an article here. Witnesses express shock and revolution after deadly missile strike on Ukraine's largest pediatric clinic. The children sat in stunned silence, their fragile bodies still tethered to the medical drips outside of the, oh man, Okamadi Children's Hospital. I hope I said that right. In central Kiev, where an impromptu field clinic had sprung up. They had not long emerged from the hospital's dark, dusty bomb shelter, and their own eyes were still adjusting to the light. A woman rushed past, cradling an infant covered in blood. Just an hour earlier, Ukraine's largest pediatric clinic, renowned for its cancer treatment, and a place many of children had called home for months, had been targeted by a powerful Russian missile attack that killed at least 4 people and left many injured. At least 32 more died in strikes across countries. So, remember in the few weeks ago where I made that post about the bombing that happened, that Biden paid for missiles for Ukraine, and then they ended up bombing a beach a few weeks ago. The Ukrainian military bombed a beach. Well, this is stuff that I'm not saying that this is justified at all, but this is the problem with this war, is that innocent people are dying. It's the same problem with the Israel and Palestine war. Innocent people are dying on both sides. It's a sad reality, but it is the reality. It sucks. War like this is trash. So this is not only why I say people shouldn't join the military, because this is what war is now. It's a drone, you hear a buzz, and boom, you're dead. It's just bomb. It's not even, there's nothing to it anymore. There's no bravery or valor to war anymore. It's just missiles. It's just wimpy and gay. War is gay now. And I'm gonna say that with confidence. War is gay. Okay? Back in the day, you got like your swords and your shields, and you just fought people to the death in hand-to-hand combat. Or like, I don't know, even like 200 years ago, you had like muskets, and you stood in front of people and you fired. Whoever had better aim won. And then even during like World War II, we had like planes and stuff like that, but it wasn't this advanced. Now it's just garbage. Now we're just launching mortars from 500 yards away, just like launching. And there's no valor, bravery, or honor in war anymore. It's just terrible. That's why I said that you just shouldn't go. You shouldn't be in the military or anything. It's garbage. This is just how it is. The hospital's technology ward lay in ruins, wrecked by the explosion that sent shrapnel tearing through the main hospital, during shattering its windows. One of the surgical rooms where doctors had been operating on a child was reduced to rubble. So this is a children's hospital that has been bombed, destroyed, and people have died because of it. Now, according to this, it doesn't seem like as many people as I thought died in this, but still, this is terrible. This is like, these are innocent people dying over some garbage war that could have easily been prevented. This is super easy to prevent. You put Trump in office and done. Because this didn't happen under Trump's administration. Okay, Obama, they invaded Ukraine under Obama's administration, and Bill Clinton's, not Bill Clinton, George Bush's administration, and now they're invading under Biden's administration. So you literally have a pattern here where Trump is the only outlier. Trump is the guy who prevented this from happening. So that means he's probably the only guy that can actually prevent this from happening. So he's the guy that we should probably vote for. And this, like I said, this all could have been prevented by voting for Trump. But instead of voting for what's right and the good thing, you got your feelings hurt on Twitter, and you're like, oh, let's vote for Biden because mean tweets and whatever. It's just so dumb. Russia deadly strikes on Monday was not the first of its kind. More than 1,700 medical facilities have been hit since the start of a full-scale invasion, according to the International Rescue Committee. Still, the sheer brutality of these attacks is certain to send shockwaves across the West and prompt furious calls in Ukraine to enhance their air defenses. Hundreds of rescuers on Monday afternoon were still combing through the wreckage of the hospital's toxicology ward, searching for those living or dead, still trapped under rubble, as the first account of shock and horror emerged. Outside the hospital entrance, civilians formed a human chain to help clear the rubble brick by brick. So, yeah, this is just an awful situation. This is just terrible. And like the pictures here, like, dude, the whole hospital is just destroyed. There's like nothing left. But this is, like I said, this is just how war is now. Because we don't fight with honor on a battlefield. We fight with no honor with buttons. On a computer screen, we point and click. And it's just stupid. Like, why do we... I know why. Because wimpy gay guys run the world. All of the world leaders are wimpy gay guys. That's why. That's just how it is. Wimps run the countries, and that's why they fight battles like they're wimps. It's just the truth. I'm sorry. I hate that that's the way it is, but that's just the way it is. Just a bunch of cowards. Bunch of spineless cowards who don't fight with honor. They fight with these garbage tactics. Just missile. It's stupid. This is all garbage. Same thing with like Israel and Hamas, Israel and Palestine. It's the same garbage kind of war. It's just missiles. There's no gunfire or anything. It's just missiles. It's just garbage. I'm just flat out being honest. Alright, so this is going to be the last thing of the day. So, Monster, as you all know, the satanic energy drink, they have a new flavor out. And I found this kind of concerning. So, Monster, as you all know, satanic energy drink. Not only do they have, like, that weird, like, O logo in the O in Monster, and then, like, the M is, like, the 666 and whatever. And then, like, the box say, like, a bunch of provocative stuff in the boxes. But they full-blown went satanic mode. And they just flat out made a new satanic edition, basically, of Monster. And on the cover, it says Bad Apple on the top. It's a woman with blonde hair holding an apple with the 666 Monster logo on the front. It has like the Monster Energy on the bottom. And on the back of the can, This is what it states. This is the back of the can, by the way, on all of them. It says, tempted to try, question mark? We hope so. Juiced Monster Bad Apple isn't like anything you've ever had before. Forget your regular apple juice. Bad Apple is so good it's almost worth getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden for. Or kicked out of Eden for. Well, that's weird. It's got a crisp, dry apple flavor. It's not too sweet, and it goes smooth. I can't read that word. There's like a light in the way. So I'm going to try to find a different can. There we go. It's sinfully great taste and pace with a full bad. Oh man, it's hard to read these cans because of the glare. It's packaged with full load of our Energy Monster Energy Blend. Or Legendary Monster Energy Blend. So there's a lot of like biblical references to on this can. There's a bunch of biblical references on there, and it's basically mocking Christianity and stuff. It's like it's almost worth getting kicked out of Eden for, and it's like we know what you're doing, and I just want to spread the word because Monster is a satanic company, garbage company. There's a reason why many UFC fighters, like Israel Adesanya, for example, put the cross on the Monster logo during the UFC events. But no, this is disgusting, in my opinion. This is terrible. This is kind of freedom of speech that shouldn't exist. Quite frankly, if you were to ask the founding fathers if they would have allowed this kind of freedom of speech, they wouldn't have. Just straight up, they wouldn't have done it. But yeah, they're literally screaming at us like, yes, we are the satanic energy drink brand. And people are still going to buy it. Some people might not have the same, the same feelings with this as like I do or other people do. But it's very clear. The messaging is very clear. So anyways, that's going to be the end of my show. I hope you like this show. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, I make videos like this every single day. So yeah, let me know what you think down below and give me a like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.